Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Current Affairs series. Today we will discuss about 29th May current affairs. Myself, Sunny Sandeep. Welcome to my channel, Gear Up for Group 1 exam. Let us discuss the current affairs. The first one, working with China to resolve LAC issue, that is line of actual control issue peacefully, says MEA, that is Minister of External Affairs. We have seen several attacks between India and China over the Ladakh and Sikkim borders. Yesterday, in a column, there is a mediation that is offered by Trump between these two countries, that is China and India. But India has refused that one. If you see this article, India and Chinese sides remain engaged through diplomatic and military channels in Delhi and Beijing, and at the line of actual control in order to resolve the situation along the boundaries in Ladakh and Sikkim. Here it is indicating that the India would not accept US President Donald Trump's offer to mediate between the two countries. It said that matter was being discussed bilaterally only. In previous situations also, when India repealed the Article 370 in Jammu Kashmir, it offers the mediation between India and Pakistan over the issue. In this situation also, when there is attacks between India and China, this again US is offering mediation between these two countries. Here if you see this one, any situation or any problem between any country or between India and China or India and US or any China and US, what are the problems between those countries, they should be engaged. There is no required of mediation, then only their problems will solve. If mediation also involved, there is no problem solving in that situation. Here MEA is telling that Indian troops take a very responsible approach towards border management and strictly follow the procedures laid out on various bilateral agreements and protocols with China to resolve any issue that may arise in border areas. Here, apart from pandemic COVID-19, we have seen that there are several issues like these border issues and locust attacks. There are several attacks are happening in 2020. Next one, Beijings Ladakh brinksmanship. Here the word brinksmanship defines this entire article about the China. If you see the word brinkmanship is the practice of trying to achieve an advantageous outcome by pushing dangerous events to the brink of active conflict. The definition of brinkmanship is the practice of trying to achieve an advantageous outcome by pushing the dangerous events to the brink of active conflict. It occurs in international politics, foreign policy, labor relations, and military strategy involving the threat of nuclear weapons and high stakes litigation. If you see that what are the brinkmanship statements or what are the brinkmanship rules followed by China, if you see that there is a issue between India and China over the line of actual control, that is the India and China confrontation along the LAC should not be seen as the standalone event. There are several different events also there. They are China's relations with the US have been going downhill almost since the beginning of the Donald Trump presidency. If you see when Donald Trump came into seat in president seat, relations between China and are deteriorating, that means in declining one, over the GSP also, over the global trade relations. Now present one, COVID-19, there are relations between China and US are deteriorating. Here another one, that is chipping away the Hong Kong's autonomous status. There is a special SAR, that is a special status is given to Hong Kong, that is by introducing or by getting the nod for that is national security law for Hong Kong, that is chipping away the Hong Kong's autonomous status. There are some other situations also. Difference over the issue of Taiwan have added to the tensions also. There are some rivalry between these two countries. They are Taiwan and China. If you see the US and China rivalry in the South China Sea, here the most important one, there is a apart from trade differences, there is one important difference, that is US-China rivalry in the South China Sea acts as the potential flashpoint that may well lead to a shooting war. Why? Because China is inducting more military or more navy forces, air forces are inducting into the South China Sea. There almost it is occupied more than any country. That's why there is a rivalry between China and USA, between these occupying the South China Sea. If you see that another situation, that is it also has the defense treaty obligation to the Philippines, which has vigorously contested the Chinese territorial claims. There are several brinkmanship with another countries like India, like USA, and another with Taiwan, and with Philippines also. This is the brinkmanship. That means brinkmanship is the practice of trying to achieve an advantageous outcome by pushing dangerous events to the brink of active conflict. Next one, scrapping of RBI former Union Finance Minister, that is P. Chidambaram. That is it is also RBI bonds, also known as 7.75 saving taxable bond. That is 7.75 saving taxable bonds. Why it is as important? That means that is Government of India have issued saving taxable bond. Why verity is important? If that is discontinued in yesterday's announcement. Former Union Finance Minister P. Chidambaram on Thursday said the decision to do away with the Reserve Bank of India bonds, that is RBI bonds, was cruel blow to citizens as it had been one of the risk-free savings instruments since 2003. Here, any customer or anything, if they want to invest, they see for the lowest risk. That means they are checking for AAA bonds, that means AAA, that means there is a rating agency, that is CRISIL. For that they are giving some Standard Poor and ratings. That means they are looking for the risk-free saving instruments. That means if you this is a RBI bonds, that means 7.75 saving taxable bond, very lowest risk. That's why this is given by RBI. If it is discontinued, it is a very big blow to our citizens. That's why former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram is arguing and urging that don't discontinue these bonds. Why? Because it is very, very important to the citizens, or it is mostly important to the senior citizens more than 60 years age. Every government is bound to provide at least one safe, risk-free investment option to its citizens. It is the mandatory duty of government to provide at least one safe, risk-free investment options to its citizens. We have seen in a share market, every second or every minute there are some risks involved in a share market. That's why every government has bound to provide at least one safe, risk-free investment option to their citizens. Here it was the RBI bond since 2003, after the lowering the interest rates of PPF, that from 8% to 7.75%, and small saving instruments. The abolition of RBI bond is another cruel blow to the citizens. That's why all citizens must demand that RBI bond must be restored immediately. It is not the new one. Now, it is also happened in 2018. Now, at the same time, Chidambaram also vehemently opposed this task. That's why they are immediately restored. Now this time they came up with another one, that is RBI bonds discontinued. That's why it is the responsible to the citizens to demand that RBI bonds must be restored immediately. Then only this economy will boost up. Another one, FDI, that is foreign direct investment, rises 13% to $50 billion, highest flow into services. Here in this COVID-19 situation, FDI is more important. Here if you see that the country had received an FDI, that is foreign direct investment, of $44.36 billion during April, March and 2018 and 19. The sectors which attract the maximum foreign inflows during the 2019 and 20 includes services 7.85 billions, computer services, hardware, it is contributed 7.67 billion, and telecommunications 4.4 billion, and trading 4.57 billion, and automobile and construction and chemicals. These are the sectors which gave rises to the FDI. Here this is announced by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, that is DPIIT, that is Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Here if you see, the FDI is most come from Singapore. Singapore emerged as the largest source of FDI, that means foreign direct investment, in India during the last fiscal, that is with 14.67 billion investments. In second stage Mauritius with another one. Here FDI is the important as the country requires major investment to overhaul its infrastructure sector to boost the growth. Here another important article, that is China passes a controversial Hong Kong law. That means China's parliament on Thursday passes a new legislation for Hong Kong law that will for the first time empower the Beijing to draft a national security laws for the special administrative region, that is SAR. That comes on HKSAR, that Hong Kong special representative region, that is chipping away that power. Here NPC, that is National People's Congress, decision on establishing and improving the legal system and enforcement mechanisms for the Hong Kong special administrative region to safeguard the national security. Here another side, NPC is telling that to safeguard the national security, we introduce this law, that is national security law. Here this is opposed by the another one, that is HKSAR, that is Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. The NPC decision has been criticized by pro-democracy parties and some in the legal community in the Hong Kong as undermining the one country two systems model. That is undermining the one country two system model. Since 1997, Hong Kong has been governed by the basic law, which gives the SAR, that means Special Administrative Region, executive, legislative and independent judicial power, including that of financial education. Only matters of defense and foreign affairs are handled by the central government. Here if you see about executive, legislative and independent judicial power are allocated to Hong Kong. Another one, that is defense and foreign affairs, are related to China. Here China passes the controversial Hong Kong law, that is national security law. Here I promise to make a previous paper analysis, that is UPSC Prelims 2019. With reference to the legislative assembly of a state in India, consider the following statements. The first one, Governor makes a customary address to the members of House at the commencement of the first session of the year. It is right. Why? Because correct. Every governor has make a customary address of the members of the House at the commencement of the first session of the year. When the state legislature does not have any rule on a particular matter, it follows the Lok Sabha rule on that. It is wrong. Here, which of the statements given above are correct? A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, both 1 and 2, D, neither 1 and 2. Here right option is A only. Why? Because the governor makes a customary address to the members of the House at the commencement of the first session of the every year. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. Gear up for Group 1 exam. Thank you. Bye bye.